Good morning. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in North America, and hello to anyone watching on replay. My name is Nancy Hetker, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. And today, I'm hoping you guys found me. I don't think I listed this as an event. I will get back in there and check all of that. I'm looking. My personal monitor feed is being blurry, but I think that's just my, there we go. That took care of it. Okay, so that focused my camera better. Good. So hello. Hello, Roseanne. When you join me, please do say hello so I know that you're here. What do I have for you today? Oh, we are about a week into the new mini catalog and celebration. I hope you guys are finding great things to add to your stash. Today I wanted to show you some stuff with this Gentle Waves background stamp. Last week I showed you the Timeless Tiles. This one is Gentle Waves, and if you turn it this way, it actually looks like waves. Move that out of the way. I'll show you the first thing I did with it, which was to not use it as a wave so much as a landscape. Although, yeah, perhaps, I don't know. Is it, well, it's not mountains in Holland, that's for sure, but it's sort of looking off into the distance and the sky, and who knows, with a bunch of windmills, because that's another new set that we have as well. Which is what? Tulip Fields. That's what these come from. And I'll be doing more with that in the coming weeks. But today I did want to do one that is much more actual waves, an ocean scene. So I have my stamp mounted on my Stamparatus, and I've said before, we do have the large clear blocks that you can use with these big full-sized red rubber stamps, but I find them kind of awkward to use, and I really like the stability and the surety of placement for my cardstock by using my Stamparatus. So I just stamped it onto the grid paper so I know where the stamp is going to be. I try not to stamp up into this corner because it can be hard to get the right pressure there, but I've set it aside here, and I've got, I keep 3 different sizes of basic white just cut on my table, and this one of them is just a quarter of a sheet of paper, and because I'm going to stamp on it and cut out in some form, and I just need to have a workable piece of basic white. The other 2 I'll show you. There's one in basic white. This is 10 by 14.4. That gets me my first layer down from a card base, like you can see, and I use that all the time, either for inside my card or on the front. I just use it all the time. And the second one that I usually have cut, but apparently don't today, there we go, make a liar out of myself, is the next layer down, which is 9.5 by 13.9. And you can do the same thing. I did when I was in the States. I did the same thing with letter size paper as well, just to have what I needed right at hand. So apparently I'll be cutting more 9.5 by 13.9 layers later today. But I'm going to go ahead and start with this. And I'm actually I'm going to try to make kind of a beach scene looking out to the water. So I want to start at this side is going to be my beach, and then out water, and then sky is the idea. So I've brought out my sponge daubers, and I've brought these colors, which you may remember I also used last week on one of my ombre timeless tiles backgrounds. So this is Bermuda Bay, Coastal Cabana, and Pool Party. But I also have Sahara Sand because I'm going to have a bit of beach as well. So let me start with the Sahara Sand. Hello, Paula and Lorraine. Thanks for joining me today. So I've got my sponge daubers, and I'm just inking it up and adding ink to my stamp, and I'm working kind of quickly because I don't want this to dry too much. I think we might do a little more. Okay, so there's Sahara Sand, and I think it should go from dark to light. So I'm going to add that on there. Some Coastal Cabana. Yeah, we're going to see how this comes out. If I don't like it, I can turn the paper over, or I can just get a fresh piece of paper, and it's just no big deal because paper's pretty cheap. So, this over so you can see a little more, and just up here where it's gotten, where the waves have gotten more spread out, I'm doing this Pool Party. And there we go. Do a little huffing on there, why not? And I'm not so worried about exactly where this goes because I'm planning to cut this out with a die. We'll see how it turns out. I think I'm pretty happy with that. You can see right there, it maybe needs a little more pressure. Yep. Cool. I will do this so that you can see it a little bit better here. Sorry, that rocked the whole camera, didn't it? There we go. Trying to decide if I want to do a little more stamping before I cut, or I want to go ahead and cut. So I'm bringing in the die that I intend to use. I'm going to go ahead and do my additional stamping. I think that will work better. So, I don't need this one at the moment. I am going to clean it off And again, just like with any other stamp, going to do like so. And I'm going to bring in another plate. This one I do want to be able to position exactly where I want it, because I am going to add these palm trees. This is from Timeless Tropical. There's another new set that also has palm trees in it in the new mini. But I don't have that set. So I am going to do these. I think right there. Just so I know exactly where there is. Just making a little line there so I can see where the bottom of my cardstock is. Ink up. Now, what I have found, and I know I've said this a couple times in the last week or so, is that Memento is a great solid black ink, but sometimes to get as solid as you want, it takes a couple of impressions. So I wound up not doing the test, but that's okay. I was pretty certain I like how it is, and that's pretty good. But since I'm right here on my Stamparatus, I am going to go ahead and get a second one on there. There we go. Move that for right now. I am going to go ahead and cut it now with the die. This is one of those where I have a vision in my head, and making it actually happen is taking place in real time. So I want to make sure. Okay, so there's that piece. And then I thought I would do a sailboat or two. This is from Sailing Home. Again, there's another sailboat, another stamp set that has a sailboat in it. In the new mini catalog, but I've got this perfectly good one, so I don't have the stickers on these, so I I keep looking to see exactly what it's doing. And I think I want that one and not the bigger one. Let's see. Although maybe. And again, I'm trying to decide if I want it more silhouetted, or if I want that one to actually be stamped and cut out. Yep, I think silhouetted again. So we're going to bring the Stamparatus back. And I'm just flipping this plate over. Trying to figure out where I might put a sentiment too. But I think I want that there. So I'll bring this in. Oh, I see. Okay. So, remember I said I wanted it to be really silhouetted? So what I'm going to do is bring in, these are my basic black Stampin' Blends. And I'm just going to darken in the things that really should be, if it's silhouetted, that really should be dark. I'm not worried about stuff coming through the palm leaves. That would be normal even if it was silhouetted. But the trunks should be black. And the sails, I'm going to try the sails here with, this is Smoky Slate Dark. I'm going to try coloring them in with that because even silhouetted, I think they would be a little bit lighter. And I can always go over them with the black if I think it warrants it. Which it may, but we'll start with this. Make the hull black, black, black. At least that lower hull. The back there. The stern. This is the basic black light. Don't know how much difference there actually is going to be. We want I'm just going to leave that little line there. I know it's silhouetted, right? But I think it just needs it for some definition. But I'm pretty happy with that. This a little bit more. Darken it up a little bit more, but still not as black as black. Which I think is a good thing on this. What do you think there? Yeah. Sorry about that. I want to get the measurement on here. 13 by 9.5-ish. I want to make black matte, I think. Yep. Okay. Okay, now it's time to figure out the sentiment and how and where it should go. I'll grab one more set here. This is a celebration set that's on right now. It's called Special Moments, and it has all kinds of good sentiments on here. Which is where I got this one, Thinking of You. It's right there. I'm leaning towards this rest and relax. You deserve it. And I'm thinking about how I want to do that. So bear with me one moment. I'm going to go look for another die. Okay, the one I was thinking of wasn't actually going to do what I wanted. So I am thinking again. Hi Gladys, thanks for joining me today. This is what I'm working on. I'm going to grab a card base while I'm still thinking about my sentiment. There we go, that's Coastal Cabana. Still thinking. Okay, get this stamped here, I think. There we go. Okay, I'm going to try a double cut on this. I'll show you what I mean in just a minute. Okay, so I've cut this once, and it's longer than I really want it to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it in like this, and I'm going to just cut that end. So I'm going to put it so it feeds through. I should bring it up here so you can hopefully see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to line that up right on there where I want it. A little further. I can feel it's going right there because it's going right into the pierced bits. It's just lining right up on the what's already been cut. I'm trying to, there we go, get it on the next one. There we go. I'm just going to go that you'll hear it. Oh, no, you won't hear it because I'm going so slow, but I can feel it. It just went right on that first little bit there. And that should, see, that cuts that off. Let's see what I'm left with. Yeah. So it just takes a moment of concentration and positioning to get that just right. And you can cut down those die cuts because it was just a little long. And I thought this is basically the same color scheme, but it's got a little bit, I think you can see it. It's got a gold thread woven in there. So I think that would be kind of nice. Not quite so plain right under there. Straighter, but I do want to unravel it a little bit. There we go. A little bit, I said. That's about enough. This side. One more row. Come on. There we go. Finish it up. Come on. There we go. There we go. I've got one side beautiful and the other side. There we go. Okay. So I like that. I'm gonna like that. So yeah, it's just the tiniest little bit, but it's gonna, you know, everything else is so flat. It's gonna be just a nice little touch, I think. And again, it still kind of blends in with what's going on in the color scheme down here. Just deciding how I want to put that on. I think we're going to do minis. So I can do a couple rows of them. Okay. So I could do just that. I'm also wondering about putting some texture or something on that layer. Yes, you and I are thinking alike here, Roseanne. I'm just thinking here about which one. Trying to decide between bark and macrame or macrame. Oops. Try this. Okay, let's see what we've got going here. Yes, one could texture this panel. I'm kind of not a fan of opening it up and seeing that texture. I don't know why so much, but that's me. So yeah, there's not a lot of it showing, but I kind of like that. What do you guys think? Yeah, not so plain. Of course, it's also quite the same length. Well, we'll take care of that in just a moment. Sometimes it pays to, especially one that's highly textured like this, to cut it a little bit big because it loses some of its length to the depth of the impression. So got that lined up on 3 edges, and I'm going to bring in my little chopper here. Chop off that little bit that sticks out from it. There we go. Never know. And I think we're going to pop that up as well. Yep. Here's my attempt to get it straight. Here we go. And to bling or not to bling? That is always my question. Wondering about a few of these. Come here. A few of these Coastal Cabana sparklies in the water. Get rid of that stickiness there. The answer is usually to bling. Yeah, it may be. Just looking at all my options here. Because how can you choose? Yeah, I don't like those. I might like those. Those are iridescent sequins. Maybe no on the opal rounds. Okay, which one do you like better? Coastal Cabana rhinestones or iridescent sequins or nothing? I'm not sure you can see what I can see. Coastal Cabana. One vote for Coastal Cabana. And of course I have clear rhinestones too. Coastal Cabana. Coastal Cabana. Okay, here we go. Crafting by committee. Crafting by consensus. How's that? How's that? Yeah, I'm gonna call that good. Thank you all for joining me here today. I will be back again. I'll show you this one again too. So there's one that's more land, although maybe it's looking out over the ocean in Holland, the Netherlands. And this one I made today. I'll be back again same time, same place next week. And I hope that you guys are enjoying the new mini and the celebration. If you are in Australia and you don't have a demonstrator and you would like a copy of the new catalogs or any of the catalogs, I'd be happy to send them to you. Just let me know. I'm at nancysniftynotes.com. I'm just going to leave that there. And I will see you next week. Thanks for joining me. Bye.